Hello, my name is Bernie Carter and welcome to today's video on lessons I wish I knew before my financial journey began. If you like the content and find it helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, or simply share it with a friend or family member whom you love and may find it helpful. Thanks. Now let's get into the video. I wish I learned how to handle finances at an earlier age to avoid some of the financial lessons I had to learn the hard way growing up through trial and error. One of the financial lessons I wish I would have known was how not to spend all my money before I get it. I wish I was taught at an earlier age how to save a portion of my money for a rainy day. I could remember times I earned money from working a job, doing house chores, or walking my next door neighbor to and from school each day. I wish I had the knowledge to save a portion of my money and not spend it all at the corner store on snacks. Even in my teenage years, I continued these same habits of spending every single dollar literally on materials like clothes and shoes. Sometimes I would spend every dollar I earned on a pair of shoes and wouldn't have enough money to travel to work the following week. All because I wanted to impress my friends at school with the latest pair of sneakers. Poor financial habits like these lead me to getting my first credit card and not knowing the true meaning of credit. At the time, I saw the credit cards as free money, not as a financial tool to build credibility for my financial future and to gain access to more capital. My first credit card was a Chase credit card when I was 18 years old with a $300 credit limit. A family member of mine asked to borrow the money to get a new place to stay, so I agreed to help and took a cash advance of $200 from the credit card. At the time, I was given promises that the money would be returned the following week, and guess what? I'm 36 years old and I still never seen that $200. What makes matters worse, at the time I didn't have a job. I just opened a bank account with a few dollars I saved, and the teller offered me a credit card, so I took it. I didn't even know what a credit score was, how to check my credit, what utilization meant, and how it affects my credit score. At the time, I was totally oblivious to the damage it was doing. All I knew was I had to pay Chase back their money on a certain date and time. Never did I imagine that this one decision would affect my credit for the next several years. Eventually, I settled with Chase to pay off the debt once I realized the magnitude of what I've done. But that didn't stop the learning lessons. They were only just beginning. Financing a car without stable income. When I financed my first car, I was about 20 years old. It was a 2001 Honda Accord. I got a job at United Airlines as a ramp agent. Yes, so long story short, I financed the car before I passed my probationary period and was fired. So here I am with a new car note and no job during the 2007 to 2008 financial crisis. Although this time I had money in my savings to keep up with the payments, my savings eventually depleted and I could no longer keep up the payments. Eventually I had to sell the car, but I was late on a few payments, but hopefully lesson learned, right? So yeah, moving right along. I eventually went off to college, not before running into payday loans. One of the worst financial tools ever invented for the consumers, but not so much for the lenders. These payday loans would charge interest rate of up to 300% on a loan for only a week's time. I remember calling to pay the loan off, and the representative told me I had to schedule payoff date a week in advance, so I couldn't pay the loan that week. Remind you, interest on these type of predatory loans ran up to 300%, maybe more depending on the company. So basically, interest accumulated for another week at $100 each payment just to stay on top of the loan payments. Eventually, I was able to pay off the loan and never look back again. I guess in this situation would teach me about loans and interest rates, right? Well, guess again, I'm off to college. So I packed my bags and I'm off to college, and guess who's waiting for me? Sally Me. Sally Me is an attractive campus girl. She's the name of the company that services my student loans. Yes, she was the golden ticket to the riches, the famous student loans. I wish I've known the magnitude of student loans, how these loans just don't go away, and how they affect the home buying process or any process regarding credit. The business of student loans plus college, how certain loans cost more than what you'll be making during the early stages of your career. One example, just for numbers' sake, if you borrow a student loan totaling at $100,000, but the max salary for your degree only pay $42,000 a year before taxes minus housing expenses, utilities, food, and transportation costs, then you're pretty much stuck with a degree that would take you years to pay off. Also keep in mind, most people don't even get jobs in the field they major in. I wish I would have had the mindset to look at college and student loans as more like an investment and not just something I had to do to make my family proud. After the graduating class throw their tassels in the air, long hours of studying plus the drunken nights with friends, the loans will still be there eating away at your financial future for the long term if you don't have the right mindset and decide carefully on what to major in. Next, using credit card arbitrage for stock options. One of, if not the worst decisions I've ever made. I had the bright idea as a new trader after I ran out of liquid cash to use cash on my credit cards for stock option trading. As a new trader at the time, I didn't fully understand in the market or market psychology. I wasn't able to emotionally stay out of my feelings while trading. I got caught up being stubborn and not letting go of losing trades, and it cost me so much in the market as a new trader, on top of risking money I couldn't afford to lose. I had the bright idea of using credit card arbitrage. Once I liquidated card for about 35.0 and lost it all the same day with over leveraging on a trade and refusing to cut for a small loss after averaging into a losing trade. Trust me guys, this is something you don't want to play with. Credit card arbitrage and option trading is a recipe for absolutely disaster if you don't know what you're doing. It put me in over 5 figures in debt, and I'm still working to pay the debt off until this day. In summary, I'm sharing this video because I pray someone could learn from these lessons I had to go through the hard way. Like Jay-Z said, how did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. Last but not least for this video, in my opinion, credit is cool, but cash is best. Learn all you could about finances and how to handle money as soon as possible. Having an emergency savings will hopefully prevent you from going into bad debt. Financing a car is cool, but make sure your income is stable and you could afford to make the payments if you lose your job. High interest loans, stay far away from them, and before you go off to college, please do your research on how much the job you're pursuing pay compared to the cost of attending the school you choose. College is an investment in yourself for the future, and it must be taken in the utmost seriousness because student loans will have long-term effects after college is finished on where to purchase a home or even to start a family in some cases. Please don't invest money you can't afford to lose. It's very important to stick to risk management. If you ever lend out money, make sure you lend it out as a gift with no hopes of a return in case things go left, and you won't be mentally or financially affected over a period of time. Remember, don't kick the can down the road with credit card purchases and predatory loans because they can financially ruin you if you're not careful. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any financial lessons you've learned over the years that maybe could help someone else, please share in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content.